right quick. Because like I said, before the conquistadors came over here, your people didn't speak Spanish. That was given by the conquistadors. You know what I'm saying? But the truth of the matter is the fact that y'all originally spoke Hebrew. So is it in there? Okay, flip it over to the back of it. Let me show him something right quick. Yeah, help him out. Get the Decalogue stone on the back of it. Okay, look, check this out. You see this on the back of the book on the back? Right here, this is called the Decalogue stone. It was found in Los Lunas, New Mexico. It dates back to 500 BC. And what's written on it right there are the 10 Commandments. Right. And it's written in Paleo-Hebrew. So that tells you that the so-called Mexicans and Native Americans that were in this land before the conquistadors actually spoke what language? Hebrew, right. What's the original language the Bible was written in? Hebrew. So now, I'm going to show you something. You heard about Moses, right? Parted the Red Sea, all of that. Well, he gave the children of Israel commandments, but he also gave them blessings and curses. And this is what he told them. Get Deuteronomy 28:15. Watch this. Read.
Book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 15. But it shall come to pass that thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God.
So he told the children of Israel, if y'all don't listen to the voice of the Lord thy God, read on,
to observe and to do all his commandments and his statutes, which are commanded this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
So he said all these curses are going to come upon y'all if y'all don't listen. And listen what he said. Keep it over. All what he said about these curses. Verse 46.
Verse 46. And they shall be upon thee.
So he said, and they, meaning these curses shall be upon you for what?
For a what? For a sign.
For a sign. So what does a sign do? Just like that stop sign. It tells you something. Okay. He said these curses are going to be upon you for a sign.
And for a wonder. And upon thy seed forever.
And they're going to be upon you for a sign and a wonder and upon your seed. That's the so-called Hispanics and Native Americans right there. When the conquistadors came over here, they rounded up and slaughtered the native Aztecs, the Mayans. That's why they're not here no more. You know what I'm saying? Your sons and your daughters are going to be given into another people. Same thing happened with the so-called black man. Same thing, slavery. Watch this.
And thine eyes shall look and fail with longing for them all the day long.
And you just going to be crying. Watch this.
And there shall be no might in thine hand.
And it ain't going to be nothing you can do about it. Today, at the border right now with ICE, all those kids being separated from their families, what can they do about it? Nothing. You know what I'm saying? Same thing today in America right now. When CPS come knock on your door and take your kids, what can you do? You know what I'm saying? Our kids go to prison more than anybody else. Any other race of people, blacks and Mexicans are in prison.
Right.
What can we do about it? Nothing. He said that was going to be a curse upon us because we didn't want to keep his commandments. On the Israelites. Watch this. Give me verse 68.
Verse 68. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again.
So this is when Moses was walking out of Egypt. All the Israelites left Egypt. Now, when you read the Bible, they didn't ever go back as a nation of people. So Egypt has a special contextual meaning right here. Watch what it means.
Deuteronomy chapter 5 verse 6. I am the Lord thy God, which brought thee out of the land of Egypt from the house of bondage.
Egypt is the house of bondage. What is bondage? Slavery.
Right.
So he's saying when you go back to Deuteronomy 28:68, the Lord shall bring you into Egypt or slavery.
Reload. Verse 68, and the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again.
Slavery again, how?
With ships.
With ships. how did we get over here, the so-called blacks? When the conquistadors came to Mexico and South America and all down through there, they shipped the so-called Mexicans back to Spain on slave ships. Same thing happened to both people. Watch this.
By the way whereof I spake unto thee.
He said, the same way I'm telling y'all it's going to happen, it's going to happen. Read.
Thou shalt see it no more again.
Have the so-called black man ever seen his homeland ever since they brought our ancestors over here in slavery? No. You know what I'm saying? And then the so-called Spaniards that went to Spain and scattered all over the world, they ain't never been back to South America and Mexico where they dwelled out in the jungle. They ain't never been back there before, ever. Have you ever been down there? Huh? In South America and in Peru and all those areas. No, you ain't never seen your homeland no more. Read on.
And there,
when y'all get off them slave ships,
ye shall be sold unto your enemies.
You gonna be sold unto your enemies. What was the first thing they did to our ancestors when they got them off them slave ships? Huh? What was the first thing they did to our ancestors when they took them off them ships? Sold them. He said you're gonna be sold unto your enemies. Read.
For bondmen and bondwomen, and no man shall buy you.
The word buy means to save or redeem. So he says that no man's gonna save you once these curses start happening. Now I'm gonna ask you again. Now, based off of the curses that we just read in the Bible, and what God was gonna happen to the Israelites, said was gonna happen to the Israelites, if we the only people on the face of this earth that happened to, now what's your nationality? You're an Israelite, correct? You see what I'm saying? You're an Israelite from the tribe of Issachar.
Right.
I'm gonna show you one more thing before you, because I know you look like you gotta leave. Like, who do they tell us this was? That's Jesus Christ, right? But is that Jesus Christ according to the Bible?
Yeah.
Watch this. Read Revelations 1:1.
Bring it out.
Revelation chapter 1 verse 1. The revelation of Jesus Christ.
The root word of revelation is revealed. So this is the revealing of Jesus Christ. Read verse 14.
Verse 14. His head and his hairs were white like wool.
So we're going to play a little game like in baseball. 3 strikes, you out. The Bible says his head and his hairs were white like wool. Does this man have white woolly hair? Which one of them do? This one, right? So that's strike 1 against this guy. Read on.
And his head and his hairs were white like wool, as white as snow, and his eyes were as a flame of fire.
And it said his eyes was the flame of fire. When you read Genesis 49:12, is it? It says, his eyes shall be red with wine. Because Christ drank wine, but he wasn't a drunkard. But which one of these guys have red eyes like fire? This one, right? So that's strike 2 on this guy. Here we go. Read on.
And his feet.
Now he looked down at Christ's feet. Because you know they wore sandals back then. So he looked down at Christ's feet. And he said his feet
like unto fine brass.
What color is brass? Brownish, right? But listen how brown the Bible said his feet was.
As if they burned in a furnace.
If you burn anything, what color is it? Black, right? So which one of these look more like Christ? So why they give us this? Exactly.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? To keep you from the truth of who you are.
We used to scream black power while heroin was pushed. But at the end of the day, nothing's in vain. IUIC has been given a vision. The tents of Judah has risen. Many has attempted the mission. Minor murmuring, omitting, and missing the mark. Just reading that he had the flame of fire in his eyes gave us the spark. We on Paul's mission. We out on the road, purple and gold. From Mexico, Cuba, Haiti, Ghana, Sierra Leone. 144,000 boots banging, concrete crackling. These are our men repented at heart. The scriptures is proof. IUIC, we deliver the truth.